Hey, you playa. Have you ever wanted to date a girl, but the timing just wasn't right? Maybe she was in a relationship with someone else, or the two of you just graduated and went to different colleges. You found yourself playing the waiting game, waiting for the moment where you can reunite with her to ask her out, waiting for the moment where she was single again so you could shoot your shot. If that's the case, you might be wondering, what do I do in that period of waiting, where I'm longing to be with her, where I'm thinking about her nonstop? Let me give you a track that you can actually follow that's going to help you get closer to dating her. I know the feeling. Every single time that girl that you're crushing on hardcore posts a brand new picture with her boyfriend, it just eats you alive on the inside. You're trying to do the mental math to determine how long they've been together to wonder if they're actually going to stick it out or if this is just a temporary dating situation. Now, what really matters most in these scenarios is not so much how much you're interacting with her, but actually what you're doing during that waiting period. A lot of guys think, what can I do to constantly be on her mind? How can I get her to break up with her boyfriend and start dating me? And I think that's not really the best approach to take. While there may be value in outright blocking her, I don't really know if that's going to help you get closer to the goal that you want, which is to potentially date her after you've played this waiting game. If you feel like you are obsessively liking her pictures, commenting on them, or checking out her profile nonstop to see if you missed anything, sure, block her. That's the best thing to do. But otherwise, what I would recommend is simply hiding her profile so you don't see her pictures, you don't see her content, but she could still see yours. The benefit in doing that is that you're not going to fall into the same routine of looking at her pictures every single time something new pops up, but she can still observe what's going on in your life. She can watch you grow, she can watch you change, she can watch you evolve as a person. Your growth and evolution needs to be heading down two very distinct paths. One is going to focus on your social evolution, branching out and meeting different people. How you choose to go about that is up to you. Do you want to get involved in more sports or activities, after school clubs? Do you want to start volunteering? Do you want to take up salsa dancing? There are lots of different things you can do to be in more social environments. And the more you're in those social environments, the more new people you're going to start to interact with. As you meet new people, this gives you new opportunities to test out lots of different things like your conversation skills, your social interactions, your eye contact, how you just feel and interact in a different group of people. All of that is going to help you become a different person that girl who you're waiting to be with is going to observe. The other distinct path is going to sound like it's running a bit counter to our goal of dating that girl when she's finally out of her relationship, but you should be dating other people in the meantime. You might be thinking, well, why would I date other people when I really like this girl and want to be with her? All of it comes down to building that character of experience. The more dating experience you have, the more you've been with different girls, you've dated them, you've gone out to different events, you've hooked up with them, whatever that may be, you're bringing all that knowledge into your new interaction with this girl when you finally do get to talk to her. It's incredibly important for you to learn how to elevate the attraction between you and someone else. Now, the way that you go about doing that is by talking to people that you're somewhat interested in. As you get to know more about them, that physical chemistry will develop. Sure, you may look at this one girl who's currently in a relationship and feel head over heels for her. Everything about her is perfect, and you might think no one else is going to come along that's going to match that, but that's simply not true. Most relationships develop over time. They're not an instant spark. So find people that you're somewhat interested in. Work on growing that relationship with them and see if that spark can actually develop. If it's a matter of this girl having rejected you in the past and a lot of time has passed and now you want her to see the developed you, these are all the skills you're going to have to work on for her to actually take notice of that. Even if she knew you at the start of her relationship, went on, did her own thing, and kind of forgot about you, when she comes back around and sees the new and developed you, she's not only going to be impressed, she's going to be interested and curious about how you've grown as a person, and that's all going to work in your favor. Now let's say the day finally comes where she breaks up with her boyfriend and she's single again. This is your chance to jump in and ask her out, right? Not so fast. You see, it is important for you to be proactive here. A lot of guys see that and think, well, let me give her a lot of space and then maybe I'll start talking to her. You need to find that equal balance that works best for you, that works alongside your confidence level. Because the reality is this: you're probably not the only guy waiting out her relationship. There are probably other guys that like her as well, and they're going to jump into her DMs just as fast as you would. The difference between you and them is going to be how you go about doing it. Realistically, she's going to need a bit of time to grieve that past relationship and to get things back in order, to see what life is like as a single person again, to notice that you have a lot more free time on your hands or that you're going to have a lot more guys DMing you. You need to operate in the time frame of how well you knew her before she was in that relationship. Were the two of you very close? Were you just casual friends? Were you acquaintances? Were you just following each other online but never really interacted? Those key details are going to play a huge role in how fast you reach out to her. You see, where you're going to stand out is not only in building that romantic connection with her, and I've made lots of videos explaining how to do that in person and over text. I'll link up a playlist here on the screen now and at the end of this video. What you're also going to do is have that added social proof. She's going to see that you're actively doing other social activities with lots of people. You have lots of friends. You're the type of person people want to be around. People like you. People like your energy. People just absorb that in. She's also going to see that you've dated other girls in the past. You weren't just kind of sitting around waiting. You weren't just kind of doing your own thing, being by yourself. She's going to know that girls want to be with you. Girls like you. Girls want to date you. And when she comes across your pictures, she's going to realize she has the opportunity to join that group. So when thinking about what to do while you're playing the waiting game, I think we have a pretty solid strategy. The other question that might come up though is, how long should you wait for this girl before you finally decide to just give up on her? And I think a lot of that's going to come down to your real world experience. Who knows? As you're networking with different people, someone might introduce you to a friend of a friend who you start to grow to like, who you start to date, who you can actually enter a relationship with. When you're at that stage, you may no longer care about this other girl who just broke up with her boyfriend, even if you used to really like her. Sure, the feelings might still be there, but you have a real, tangible, honest, and genuine person now in front of you that you're dating. So that doesn't really matter as much anymore. Because the reality is, no matter how much time has passed, most of us are not going to end up with that old high school or college or work crush. We're going to meet someone new, someone who's willing to understand us, someone who's single, someone who's looking to date, someone who wants to be in a relationship. And whether that girl you used to like is still dating someone or is single, none of that's going to matter in the end, because you're going to find the person that you're actually meant to be with. But if you still want to know how to talk to that girl, check out the playlist on the screen now, where I'm going to share tons of tips on how to have a conversation with her that's going to make her more interested in you. Check out those videos, and I'll catch you next time. As always, love and peace.